What's Santa bringing you for Christmas this year?
Well, you know, I don't know yet.
You haven't got your letter off to Santa?
Well, now that we got internet and everything, you know, you get it all right then and there, so I'll wait. Oh.
Welcome to Memorial Cooking Innovations. I'm Tim Scallon, registered dietitian.
And I'm Manuel Marini, executive chef.
So today we're hosting our Memorial Cooking Innovations family for a holiday celebration.
And you're invited.
Yeah. And so during the holidays, you know, we've got food everywhere. Let's not use the holidays as an excuse for overindulgence. And we might need to work in some extra activity because we'll probably be eating some extra calories.
Oh, definitely.
But, you know, the holidays is more than food, huh?
Oh, definitely. It's about enjoying your family and your friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Food has a lot to do with it, too.
Yeah.
So
well, it makes the occasion.
It does make the occasion, and this is what makes it fun, too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so...
Well, and so we were talking about earlier as we were getting ready the difference between appetizers and
hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Or finger food.
Or finger food, yeah.
You know, a lot of times you might get an invitation to a cocktail party. It doesn't mean cocktail. It means also that you might get hors d'oeuvres be served or finger food. And it's just something that you can grab in one bite size.
As opposed to a meal.
As opposed to a meal.
Yes.
And it usually goes like during your New Year's parties. And nowadays, people like that because you can try different little things and you don't have to fill up or, you know, weigh so much. So.
Whereas another thing, like whenever we did the show on fine dining, we did an appetizer which preceded the meal.
Exactly.
So difference between the term appetizer and hors d'oeuvres.
The difference is one is you're going to have before your meal, and the other one is you're going to be walking around and enjoying every bit of it. So.
Yeah, yeah, and a meal doesn't necessarily follow.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, so what are we cooking for our guests tonight?
Just wait. I got something planned.
I can't wait.
Ready for the kitchen?
Ready.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, Manny, we got everything set up. Now what?
Now what? Okay. Now we start with the hummus.
Okay.
We're going to do a nice hummus, which is getting big nowadays, you know, because it's healthy.
We're going to do hummus on Memorial Cooking Innovations.
You know, I promised you, well, how long have I known you for? About 8 years?
Yeah, I've been wanting to do hummus on this show for 6 years now.
Hey, miracles do happen, don't they? And it's so big, so we're going to do hummus. And that's something big, popular. You see it at the grocery stores.
I'm glad you finally came around to this.
Just for you. It's a holiday season, so we're going to do that.
Okay.
Then we're going to do some stuffed mushroom with spinach. And I chose fresh spinach. If you have fresh, go fresh. Yep. But we're going to do that. That's going to be fun.
You know, Chef Manny, fresh is what makes Memorial Cooking Innovations.
Fresh is always best. Sometimes
it's where the flavor is.
Yeah, but sometimes we might not be able to, find it. So frozen spinach would be great.
Yeah.
We got some Gouda.
Okay.
Nice flavor to it, and other cheeses that we're going to add to it. We're going to stuff them. We're going to bake them.
Okay.
And then we're going to go with a nice traditional shrimp scampi. I know you like shrimp.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll go with that. How's that? Okay.
That sounds
Deal.
wonderful.
So let's start with the hummus.
Okay.
So I got some garbanzo.
Okay, and garbanzo beans, for those people who don't know garbanzo, you find these on the beans section. Another name for these are chickpeas. These days, most people are calling them garbanzo. Though.
Garbanzo, yes. So go ahead and pour those in there.
Okay.
And like I said, these are simple recipes, and you couldn't imagine how simple it is.
You sure you want all three of these cans?
Well, we'll save that one.
Let's save that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, ingredient: garlic.
Okay. Yeah.
Garlic's always good.
And this is a traditional recipe. You know, like you were saying earlier, we were talking that, you know, in the grocery store you get a lot of different flavored hummuses, but this is a traditional.
And this is the good part about this is that we're not going to really add too much salt like the grocery stores do. So this is the healthier version. So this is where we want to go with.
Yeah.
Now we do have tahini, which is a sesame paste.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So.
Tahini is used in a lot of sauces in the Mediterranean and North Africa. Here you go. You want this one?
Oh, yeah, I'll use that one.
And, you know, we don't really, here in the States, we don't see tahini much, but it's an essential ingredient.
And you can buy it. I mean, they have it in the grocery stores, okay?
Yep.
And when you buy it, it kind of settles. When it settles, you'll see the oil on top. And
it's like an old-fashioned peanut butter.
Exactly.
It
like
separates from the oil from the nuts. Now, you know, because this is made out of sesame seed, all seeds and nuts are concentrated sources of nutrients.
which is good. All right, we'll add some of that.
I think that's
and
good,
remember,
man.
we can add more later, but we're gonna taste it first, okay?
Yeah, and then you want olive oil in this.
I want a little bit of olive oil.
And
so
in this recipe, you want to use a good quality olive oil. Okay. All right, so we got everything that we want in there.
Yep. Well, let's add a pinch of
salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper,
Yep.
and like I said, a pinch.
Yep.
Pepper is always good.
Yep.
And we're gonna do a little pinch. Because the garbanzo have a little sodium in it, so
Yep.
we don't want to add
Yep.
too much.
Yeah, and in fact, this brand of garbanzo is actually quite high in sodium. It's 470 milligrams in a half cup of these, and so you're exactly right. You got a lot of sodium in that. Okay, so we want to pulse this for a minute.
Yeah, just mix it really, really good. It'll become a paste, and that's what we want.
Yeah. A lot of people get confused by the nutrition labeling on food packages. And so I want to spend just a moment explaining the nutrition facts label. The first item that I want to show you is the serving size. Every package that has a nutrition facts label will define a serving size of that food. So in this particular example, 1 cup of milk is a serving size. And all of the other nutrients refer to that serving size. So this means then there are 110 calories in 1 cup of milk. Now this is an important thing to know because some manufacturers vary their serving size. Milk is pretty standard, 1 cup. But for example, chip labels, a serving may be 14 chips or a serving may be 18 chips. Cereal packages, sometimes a serving size is a half cup, sometimes it's 3/4 cup. And so when you're comparing calories per serving, you want to know what the serving size is. Now the other item in this is that all of the nutrients that are listed, so cholesterol, sodium, potassium, protein, all of these refer back to that serving size. So in this cup of milk, there are 10 grams of protein. Now there's also a percentage listed out by some of those nutrients. And that percentage refers to a reference person who needs 2,000 calories a day. And so if you need 2,000 calories a day, the 10 grams in a cup of this milk of protein would represent 20% of your need for protein. So that's what the percentage means. So in most cases, you really don't use the percentages. You use the grams listed beside it. So how many milligrams of sodium is in this serving of this food? How many grams of cholesterol is in this food? This is just a more usable piece of information for you. The other item that is most typically confused on the nutrition facts label is this item known as sugars. So in this carton of milk there are 14 grams of total carbohydrate and there are 14 sugars. So does milk have sugar in it? Well, it has milk sugar, it has lactose. And this term sugars does not refer to table sugar or sucrose. That sugar means a simple carbohydrate, which could include fruit sugar, fructose, milk sugar, lactose, table sugar, sucrose. It could include all of those sugars. And so when you're looking at that sugars, it's not actually a very helpful thing to go by. I typically tell people don't even pay attention to that. If you want to know how many carbohydrates there are, then go by the total carbs. Because some people, when they read that, they mistake that to mean that there's sugar in the product. There's a way that you can verify this, and that's the other item on this label that I want to show you, and that's the ingredient label. Usually the ingredient label is right under the nutrition facts label. Now sometimes some manufacturers put it in different places, but that's where it is usually. In this particular case, the ingredient label has nothing in it that says sugar, so that tells me, well, this doesn't have sugar added. Okay. The other thing about the ingredient label is that the ingredients are listed by weight in descending order. So that means the ingredient that is the most is at the top, and the ingredient that is the least is listed last. Okay, let's look at another label real quick. Okay, so orange juice. Here's another one under sugars, 25 grams of sugar. So does this orange juice have sugar in it? Well, let's look and see. In this ingredient label, it says contains orange and mango juices and natural flavors. Now they can't list sugar as a natural flavor. That's defined by law. But basically, this juice is orange juice and mango juice put together. And so that's a way to determine whether a product has sugar in it. It kind of clears up the item of using that sugars. Now, another thing that's good to use the ingredient label for, or it would be on identifying foods that are whole foods. Like, for example, let's look at this cereal box here. Okay, so skipping the nutrition facts, but just looking at the ingredients, there's organic whole grain wheat, organic evaporated cane juice. Now that's another fancy word for sugar, cane sugar. Natural flavor. And there's a warning here that says contains wheat ingredients. So this would be for people who have a wheat allergy. And they're required by law to put that on there. But the point that I want to make here is that there are only 3 ingredients listed in this food. Okay, so looking at another one, I just happen to pick 2 healthy cereals. In this ingredient label, whole grain rolled oats. There's only 1 ingredient in this food. So that food is good. It doesn't have any food additives or food modifiers. This is closer to a whole food than those that have a whole list of different ingredients. And so that's another thing that we learn from the ingredient label. And so now you know a little bit more about the food that you're eating.
Tim, I think, you know what? I think we might, remember, if you add a little bit of oil if you need to make that smooth transition. Oh man, that looks wonderful.
Looks wonderful.
Here's a spoon, taste. Tim.
Yep. Okay.
Remember, we can always add a little bit more.
Good.
That's really good.
I like it.
I do too. Now, traditionally, when you go to the store, you might find with a little spicy, you know, a little more roasted garlic. So another good thing to do is do the hummus the way it is, and then maybe add a little bowls of hot sauce and this and that people can actually pour on top of themselves.
To mix with it.
Some people like hot, spicy, some don't, you know, so it's always good.
Okay.
I got a nice little bowl. Oh, I'm sorry, I got the bowl right here.
All right.
And then we're gonna dress it up because we gotta make it look pretty for our guest, right, Tim?
Yep.
So what I have here is I got some nice tomatoes. Got some nice tomato. We're gonna do some nice thin sliced tomatoes.
Now, when you're making this hummus, you want it to be a thick consistency, almost as thick as peanut butter, not quite. And
but it's a spread, really.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You want it. That's a good way to say it. You want it to spread easily on things. Okay.
That's
We're just going to start right there.
You can put a little bit
more.
A little
more.
Tim. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
I need something to rake that off right there.
How about that?
Yeah. And hummus, because it's made with beans, you know, all beans are very healthy foods, high in fiber, especially these garbanzo beans. Now, it's also high in oil. And although olive oil is a heart-healthy oil, if you're watching your calories, if you're overweight, those calories still count, even though it's a healthy oil. So this recipe is high in fat. But during the holidays, we're going to try to control our serving sizes a little bit so that at the end of the season, we didn't pick up 5 pounds.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's the holiday season. People go from house to house, and this is something that you want to take with you.
Yep. I love the way you're decorating that.
We just want to give a nice little color. You know what I mean?
Red and green.
Red and green, Christmas colors.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, that we got the hummus in the refrigerator, let's start with the mushrooms.
Okay.
Now, pretty simple. Button mushrooms. You could also use, let's say, portobellas. Nice, big portobellas. You can cut them in quarters. I like this. Whichever one has a surface that we can stuff and bake would be awesome.
And this is good because it's bite size.
Yes, exactly. So what we're going to do, you can brush it if you have a nice pastry brush, and if you have a squirt bottle like this, just drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Okay.
Good. Good.
Okay, so while we're going to cook them for about, I don't know, 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to place it in the oven, okay? About 375.
All right.
Okay, so we'll place it here. Now, let's do the stuffing. Okay. Remember, the recipe calls for frozen spinach. I decided because I had some really nice fresh spinach, I just sauteed it lightly.
Yeah.
And a little bit of olive oil, okay?
Okay.
Also, we got some Parmesan cheese.
Okay. So this is the Parmesan or the Gouda? This is the
Parmesan. Yeah. This one right here will be the mozzarella.
Mozzarella. And basically in this recipe, we're using mozzarella and Parmesan because it's lower in fat.
Lower in fat. And then a little pinch. Okay. And now I got the Gouda here.
All right.
Now, we don't have to use Gouda, but it has a nice flavor. And that's the flavor that we want.
And I want to point out, you can find this in any grocery store. You can find this in Brookshire's, in fact. And so Gouda is a good Dutch cheese. It's a mild cheese. Actually, there are a lot of different kinds of Gouda. I learned this as I was reading a little bit about this.
Yeah, there's some good smoked Gouda. That is really good.
Yes, makes a wonderful sandwich. Now in our healthy recipes, we have to use... this would be considered a soft cheese, and soft cheeses are higher in fat and higher in calories, so we have to use smaller amounts of the Gouda.
So what I have here is a cheese grater, so we're just going to grate the cheese, the Gouda. Mix it.
One of the things that someone gave me, my family's always, because of Memorial Cooking Innovations, they're always giving me food gifts, and one of the handiest food gifts that I think daughter Claire gave me was a rotary grater.
I love those. Oh, yeah. I love those.
It just makes this so easy.
But the old-fashioned still works 100 years later.
Yeah. Sure.
And it still works no matter what.
And easy to clean.
Easy to clean.
Yeah. Okay. You're getting pretty close to being enough there, Manny.
I hope so. I just like the Gouda. I get excited on the Gouda. Okay, so, all right.
Okay.
So now we're going to mix this together.
This has to be good with spinach and cheese in it. So a traditional dish with spinach and cheese would be...
What's the name?
That's what I'm trying to think of, because we've learned this on a past show. A dish that has spinach and cheese. Do you remember?
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that. Well, okay.
Well, let's see if it comes back to you by the time we finish doing this.
All right. Okay. All right. So you're going to mix your spinach and your cheese.
And it almost sounds like a place where you actually went to.
So you know. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. A little egg. It's going to help it bond, give that flavor.
Hold it together. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You notice the color of the eggs, right?
Yes.
We're using cage-free eggs.
Good.
Which is a nice thing.
Yeah.
So
now, is that when you say we, are you talking about
Sodexo is required to use cage-free eggs.
That's a good thing.
Yes. People don't realize that, but when you have chickens in cages and all these eggs and stuff like that, these are just loose chickens.
Well, the other thing about a cage-free egg is, and this is also true about yard eggs, chickens that sit around and don't exercise, they lay eggs that are higher in fat and cholesterol. It's just like us. If we lay around and don't do anything, we get bigger and bigger. Fatter. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll set this aside real quick. Let me check on the mushrooms.
Okay.
Now that we got our cheeses and our fresh spinach, we're going to add a little bit of garlic.
Okay.
All right, Tim? And some cranberries. That's the twist that we gave. We got that holiday season.
Yes, there you go.
Nice little cranberries.
And you're not just adding a color there, but remember that deep colors in foods are an indication of nutrient content. And we also have learned on past Memorial Cooking Innovation shows that all berries are real healthy to eat.
Yes.
So you're adding flavor here, but I'm thinking nutrients.
There you go.
Way to go, man. Red and green.
Very Christmassy.
Festive.
Yeah. Festivus.
Yeah, it's Festivus.
All right, Festivus. And then, of course, breadcrumbs. Now, we use fresh breadcrumbs.
Okay. Good.
One slice of bread, a slice of bread makes about a quarter cup of breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
And then how do you make breadcrumbs? Pretty easy. Day-old bread, you know, your toast that you didn't get a chance to eat in the morning. What I do, we lay them on a sheet pan, throw them in the oven, and let them slowly, about 150, 175 degrees, slowly.
Okay.
So we're just drying it, and then we
Yes.
just crumble it up by hand.
Okay.
It's better than this than having the store-bought. You know,
Well,
the store-bought is convenient.
This is a lot cheaper, but you know
Lots.
what else? There's way less sodium in this, okay? In 1 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, there's 538 milligrams of sodium.
Wow.
You know how much in a cup of these breadcrumbs that you made?
How much?
3 milligrams.
Wow.
538 or 3, which one's better?
Wow. And it's so easy.
And you know, if you wanted to add a little salt to this for the salt, but you know, you don't have to go overboard with like.
Well, and that's why we added the Parmesan. That's why we added the Gouda to give that flavor. It's already got salt in it, so why add a little bit more?
In this case, the convenience food is just not worth it. It's like it overpowers.
True. Now, Tim, thought about the word yet?
No, what is it?
Florentine.
Florentine. Firenze.
Firenze, eh?
Si. Florentine.
Unbelievable.
Spinach Florentine. Yes, so a dish made with spinach and cheese is often called Florentine. Okay. All right.
All right, look, nice. This will be
Ooh, that's
beautiful.
Let's stuff those mushrooms.
Ready? Let me get my rag over here because this is going to be one hot pan.
Yeah.
Oh, that looking good.
Yep.
Okay, so you know what,
got
Tim?
this.
That is gonna be your job. How's that?
Okay.
Pretty easy. So an easy way to do it, you know, wash your hands really good. Put some gloves on if you have it. No big deal. Just wash them good. Or use 2 spoons, and we're just gonna dab them just like that. How's that?
That's
Okay, Tim?
You want me to do one? Okay.
No, I want you to do all of them.
14. 25. 38.
While you do that,
Okay.
I'm gonna work on the other one, which is the shrimp. Here we are. We're just cooking this up a little bit. Nice garlic shrimp. Now we're gonna make I want you to watch me because I know you're gonna do this at home.
All right.
We're gonna make a little bit of cocktail sauce.
Yes.
Something simple.
Yep.
And of course, you brought us some low sodium
Ketchup.
ketchup, and that's what we want.
And and this is something that I want to point out because you can make this with regular ketchup, okay? But if you use low sodium ketchup, I want to tell you the difference. In this serving, 1 tablespoon has 5 milligrams of sodium. Now I'm going to check my reference over here just to remind you. In a 1/3 cup of regular ketchup, there's 882 milligrams of sodium. If we use this, there's 16 milligrams. 882, 16. And we don't think of ketchup as being a high sodium food. Well, if I'm using a tablespoon, it's not that much. But if you're going to make a tartar sauce out of it, this is the one you want to use.
Great, but we're gonna make a cocktail sauce, Tim.
Sorry, cocktail sauce, not tartar sauce.
You've been telling me the whole time. What about the tartar sauce?
Yeah,
Why that's it?
that's
Okay,
right.
yeah. Remember,
I'm
it's
glad you're keeping
quarantine.
me straight on this.
Someone has to, you know. And the party hadn't even started yet.
Now look at that shrimp. Look how
Beautiful.
you got that.
All right. We're gonna add. Okay, so I got your ketchup here.
Yep.
We're not gonna use much because we're just gonna dab a little bit of it.
Okay.
Here I got a little bit of pickled relish. If you have some pickles, just dice them up, you know. And we don't need much. Okay.
Excuse me. Basically, what you want there is you want just some crunch.
Crunch. And then I got some fresh horseradish. You know, you can actually buy the one in the store already, cocktail sauce.
Yep.
There's nothing better than making it fresh.
Yep.
The cocktail sauce that you buy at the store is set at one way. Here you can make it spicier, a little more sweeter, depending on your taste.
Yep.
So we're gonna add, you like spiciness? I do.
Yeah.
I do, especially with the weather. You know, we're in the holidays, it's cold out there.
That horseradish kind of warms you up.
It does. So we're gonna do this. Now we're gonna add a little bit of lemon juice to it, okay, Tim?
Yeah.
So we're just gonna squeeze a little lemon juice.
Okay. And I noticed.
And we're gonna squeeze a little bit here too as well.
I noticed when you cut that lemon, you didn't cut him in the middle. You cut him so that you missed the seeds.
I did.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of on the side. And besides, I'm only using a little bit of it.
That's a tip we threw in just for free.
There you go. We didn't even plan that one, did we?
That's right.
Half of the time we don't even plan what we do.
Well, that's right. That's what makes it work.
Exactly. So, okay, now that we got our shrimp, we're going to add a little bit of butter, okay, Tim?
Okay.
A little bit, right?
Okay, yeah, a little bit.
Let me put two of these.
This is the scampy part.
This is the scampy part. We're just going to melt the butter down a little bit, okay?
Okay.
And that's it. We're just going to let it sit to the side for a few seconds.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to actually use a little bit of, we're going to lay them on a wheat cracker.
Okay.
What do you think about that, huh? Something exciting?
So we need a plate or something to put
we do. But first, let's get the shrimp ready.
Okay.
Let's check, get these guys going real quick.
Yeah. I wanted to look at the label on this because, you know, we've been talking about food labels today. Okay, so the first ingredient on these crackers is whole wheat flour. See, that's a good.
That's good.
That means that's a good item. And these crackers have 1 gram of fiber in 1 serving, which is about 2 crackers.
Okay, now Tim, that I got the spinach mushrooms in the oven.
Yep.
You got that plated for me. The shrimp is perfect, ready to go. I got some avocados here.
Okay.
Let me get my little knife. Let me cut the avocado real quick.
You want him here? Or?
Yeah, no, that'd be good. I'm just gonna do this. Beautiful.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a nice little wedge. Always be careful with the knife.
Yeah.
Get the back of the knife. I'm just gonna take it out. We're gonna just lay it right here, the avocado.
Okay.
All right? And if you don't mind, put a little shrimp on there.
Okay.
I got you a pair of tongs right here, Tim.
There we go. Okay, so a shrimp goes right here.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay.
We'll dress it up. I mean, it's, you know, the art of cooking, it's how you present yourself.
It's all presentation.
It's all presentation. You got the cocktail sauce, and I was thinking that with the cocktail sauce, we could add a little bit right on top.
That's nice.
You know?
Okay.
Something simple, elegantly. Now that we got this done, this is pretty, huh? Nice, nice, beautiful colors, okay?
Yeah.
Now that we got this done, I got the mushrooms have been in the oven for about 20 minutes at about 375.
Okay.
So I think we're almost ready to go.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go change before our guests arrive.
And I'll finish plating up, and I'll meet you there.
Okay. Ooh, wow.
All right.
Okay. It's beautiful, Chef Manny. Okay, so we've prepared a wonderful array of delectable delights, and we've got our Memorial Cooking Innovations family here. Chef Manny, here's a glass of champagne, and in a little bit we're going to have a toast, but let's just kind of talk about what we've learned today. You know, the holidays are a time to celebrate with family and friends. It's a special time to get together. Food is a part of that celebration, but really the real thing is the people in our lives. And so when we're making our food, focus on those low sodium ingredients so that we don't raise our blood pressure. We're going to eat extra calories this season, so it's a good time to work in some extra family activities. And in this way, we have many years of healthy, happy holiday celebrations. How about a toast, Chef Manny?
Here's from all of us at Memorial, the Memorial family, to you. Cheers.
Hear, hear.